Welcome back. They were the kings of high school football. The Holy Rosary Raiders won the league and worked their way to the Tier 3 provincials before suffering their first loss in almost 2 seasons. Brett Morton sat down with head coach Vince Oreo as they look back on quite the ride in 2015.
So just joined with head coach of the Holy Rosary Raiders, Vince Oreo. Just talk about the season as a whole. Another Wheatland Football League title. Obviously not the provincial final you wanted, but Tier 3, you had a good run until then. So just talk about the season as a whole.
Yeah, no, it was a tremendous season. We, made the jump from Tier 4 to Tier 3, and really didn't miss a beat. Went undefeated in the league, captured back-to-back league championships, sort of around the table in the north for Tier 3 competition, and then, everybody saw we ran into a really solid football team in Cochrane. Nothing to hang our heads about. Just lots to learn from that experience.
Do you think Tier 3 is where you guys belong?
We felt that we did okay in Tier 3 this year. We thought we did okay, but when you look at South and you look at Rundle College and Cardston and Cochrane, any of those 3 teams would have beat us. We didn't face them in the provincial final, but looking at the scores and what they did in their games, realistically, they would have beat us. So we're strong in the north. We've got some work to do to be competitive in the south at the Tier 3 level.
How does you as a coach and as a coaching staff get your team to that level of a Cochrane?
Yeah. So we'd need to play 7 or 8 games at a really high level in order to prepare ourselves for provincials. And there's 4 or 5 teams in the league that give us that competition. Like when we play certain teams, there's no gimmies. We've been, blessed the last couple of years. We've had good enough teams that have been able to win. But there's certain teams that, regardless of how good we are, they're bringing it every week too. So we can't take nights off. That's never really a scenario, but we definitely want to seek out other teams and maybe start playing 13, 14, 15 games in a year to give our kids the experience they need.
Ended your 23-game win streak from years back. Do you think that maybe that's a little bit of a sigh of relief to maybe have that pressure off you guys and then you can just refocus and rework it instead of...
I can live with that pressure. That's not bad pressure.
Reality check for those kids, right? You think that life's pretty easy on the football field when you're winning every game. So to see Cochrane and the level of competition or the level of ability that those kids had, like I've said this 5 or 6 times and I believe it, I don't know if we'd have had a kid on our team either side of the ball start for Cochrane. That says a lot about their program, and it says a lot about where we have to get to be competitive at a provincial level in Tier 3 and higher.
What are your expectations for the 2016 season?
Yeah. We want to see kids in the weight room. They got to make a commitment to getting better. I want to see kids go out for midget football and at least try out and get 5 or 6 more games under their belt. Commit themselves in the off season, like in the summertime, to really train and commit themselves to being a Raider football player. After that provincial final, I think we've had a lot of conversations as coaches. We want to build an elite football program here. And kids that are just in it, just to be on the team or just to hang out, get a jacket, those days might be coming to an end for those kids. We're giving away a lot of reps from starters to kids who don't want to put in the time and the effort. So we really want to build this program into something special. And kids who want to have the best high school football experience possible, this is the place to be. That's the direction we're headed.
The Lloyd Comp Barons had quite the season going for them, but they too couldn't overcome the Raiders, falling to them in the semis. As Brett Morton finds out, head coach Aaron Harper is using it as a learning tool.
Joined by head coach of the Barons, Aaron Harper. Aaron, first off, just talk about the season that was.
Some really exciting times. Some games that we lost, we didn't think we should have lost, but overall it was the kids. It was a great group of kids, and they had a lot of fun. And yeah, I think that for the younger guys, it was some good learning moments, and for myself as a coach and us as a coaching staff. But yeah, overall, not where we wanted to be, wins and loss wise, but we're getting better, and I think we're building something pretty special here.
You guys started the year off with a big win, then lost to St. Paul there. You rattled off 3 straight wins after that. So what did you say to the boys after maybe the second week of the season when you guys lost the game and you came back and won 3 straight?
St. Paul, man, I think we really wish we would have got that one back. We kind of went in there and really penalties killed us. We dropped a couple touchdowns, and they beat us. They played a really good football game. That being said, I was really proud of the way our guys bounced back. It's not easy. It's not easy to lose a second game of the year and really think that your season's kind of over, or whatever they may think.
How do you guys think that you'd be able to get over that hump of Holy? You're saying, you know, if you guys would have had another crack at him, you could have maybe got him. So how do you maybe, when you play him next year, the first time, you'll be able to get a jump on him and be able to beat him?
Yeah, an aura about him right now that, you know, they haven't lost in a couple years in the Wheatland, and we really need to just sort of knock them off that pedestal. And they have put a really good program together over there. But I think we're right there, and I think our coaching staff is dedicated to sort of taking over this area or taking over the Wheatland. We think our guys want to compete and want to beat that team, and yeah, we're excited. They're a good program though, a very, very good football team, competitive in Tier 3 this year after winning Tier 4 last year. So I give them a lot of props, and it's again just another measuring stick that once you beat them, you know you're a pretty darn good football team.
You guys made that huge big first step in provincials, getting some wins, getting to the North semifinal. Obviously the next step is to get to the final and then on to the facing the team in the South. So what is the next step for you guys after you got the first little hurdle out of the way?
Yeah, it's consistently getting to that semifinals and then winning the North. If you can beat teams out of Grand Prairie, teams out of Edmonton, and represent the North, I think that's huge. The South, it's a whole nother ball game down there. There's some very, very good football teams in Southern Alberta, but we'll worry about that when we get there. So we got over one hump this year by getting to the semifinals. The goal next year will be to get over another one and try to get to those finals.
What's the outlook for next season?
Yeah, we're excited. Going to be a little younger, going to look a little different. Going to have a new guy throwing the football around, but very competitive. There's a few spots that are wide open right now that we don't know who's going to win those spots, and we're excited that we think, you know, there could be 4 or 5 guys handling the ball next year that could all make plays and score points for us. So yeah, we're excited.
Hey, thanks very much. Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks.
Well, time for a break. When we come back, we take a look at college sports, starting with basketball.